Okay, hey everyone. Today is the 11th of February, and I just have a question for a lot of you. The question is, have you noticed in the last about 20 days, 30 days, there's been a huge energetic shift in our realm? I mentioned it to a few people. They've kind of agreed, but I wanted to see if it's bigger than just me and a few other people, where it literally feels like it's, I don't want to call it heavy. That's not the right word. It's not a heaviness. It's just like a different vibrational field. And it's making a lot of things just difficult to do. It's kind of like making various chores very hard to do, and it's very draining. It's very tiring. Doing almost anything tires you out. And I don't think it's just me. I don't think it's just this location that I'm at, although I'm officially in the North Pole now. I haven't seen this much snow since I was like a 3-year-old kid. I'll splice in a little video so you can see the area. Okay, anyway, something is going on, at least to my eye. Something is going on an energetic level in this realm, and I don't know what that is. I've had a lot of interviews, for example, postponed, canceled, people not get back to me. This never happens. So it's been like this for about three weeks or so. There's been like this, there's a wrench in the machine of sort of everything in this realm. And I don't know if that's related to the various, what we call them, protests. I don't know what you want to call them, that are sort of happening worldwide, that it's changing the energetic flow here. I don't know. I said I was going to make some predictions a while back. Okay, I'm going to make one prediction. It is possible, and this would be a really interesting psychological trick if it's done, but what you could see is in about 2 to 3 weeks, the health organizations around the world indicate that their research now shows that all the various variants are no longer dangerous in any way, shape, or form. All governments should remove all of the mandates, and everyone should just go back to living normally. There's nothing going on anymore. That would be a way to quell protest, because that's what the protest has been about, right? It's been about mandates. So if there were no mandates, the protests would stop instantly. The governments would look good, because the reason they can claim that the reason we can no longer do this is how good we were, and how good you all behaved, and how compliant and obedient you were. They save face. The protest ends, everybody goes home, and it just stays that way for 4 months, 5 months. And then, of course, they've now got 6 months' time for September, October, whatever, when they've got the new hammer to lay down, and nobody will be ready for it. And they'll be able to literally just catch everyone by surprise. That's a scenario now I wouldn't say put that in the 30% category. They could try to double down here. They could try to really just squash everything around the world and really just push everything harder, but they're more astute psychologically than that. And you can't, if a player goes on a slot machine and loses every single time they pull the handle and put the quarter in, they're going to stop playing. You have to in the lose reward cycle, you have to constantly give little bits of wins. You have to, every once in a while, they win back, 6 quarters. They haven't really won anything. They've already put in $2 and they win back $1.25, but they think they're they think they're close to the big strike. So they keep pumping the money back in, and it's winnings now. No, it's not. You're still down. You're still losing. You've just got back some of your lost money, but you're just losing the same money kind of twice. It's just taking you longer to lose. So I think this psychological understanding is there. So I would be surprised if it goes more hard-handed, because just like the slot machine player, you've got to give a little something back to ease everything off. Somehow we're going to see that. I don't know how or what but that's what all this is pushing me to. But it's I'll finish with the energy thing again, because it's really, that's the thing that's concerning me, actually. The change in the frequency. Now, again, if you all don't feel it, if you feel everything's exactly the same as it's been for 2 years, okay, fine. Then it's me. It's something about me personally. And that's useful. Then I can go and try to figure that out myself, and I don't have to think. But if I'm getting responses from comments that it's kind of like, you're all noticing the same thing too. And I'm saying about 20 days, maybe 25 days. After January 1st for sure. I didn't feel this in December, so it's after January 1st. It's in this new year. So if you guys are feeling that too, then we can kind of begin to conclude that, okay, something has changed one way or another, and we can try to figure out what it is on an earthly understanding. Last little comment is about the astrology thing, and I've still been thinking about it. One of the things I had learned a long time ago, 25 years ago, when I first started all this work, was the importance of what's known in ancient Egypt as your Osiris year. That every 28 years, you will go through, 4 cycles of 7, 4 cycles of chakras, and you'll also go through 2 14 cycles, which is a complete moon cycle in a sense, right? You've gone through 28 days, which is a moon cycle, but then you've gone through 28 years, which you might say is a personal moon cycle. And this 28th year is usually a year where great change can happen to a person because it's like their whole everything connected to the world is shifting as they shift to a different, almost like a new year. The one moon life year is gone and the new moon year. So just like in astrology, how one moon changes to another moon, one life changes to another life in the age of 28. And so I'm wondering, because we've got 2 different types of astrological, 2 types of astrological systems still running in place, this tropical related to the year 0 and sidereal related to the exact moment of a person's birth. And yes, I know I've said this to myself, that actually the moment of your birth really means nothing, because it's really about the moment you would have been conceived 9 months prior. That's what you would have wanted to actually check in the sky. So if you're born technically, I'm born a Taurus. Well, no, that means if you are actually a Taurus, then Taurus really is the sign 9 months previous. But I don't want to get into that mess. That's a mess in itself to unravel. But playing with the end result that comes out to us, it's possible that the 0 year, your entrance into the realm, is your tropical astrological life. So you live 0 to 28 as what you would normally think of when you look up in a newspaper, what's my astrological sign? That's it. And you live there till 28. And it slowly begins weakening, because the new sign is beginning to build. It's not just an immediate cut. It's it begins to come and then slowly goes off as the new one begins to build, and it will slowly die off. So when you hit 28, you switch to your sidereal astrological sign. For a few people, nothing will change, right? They were born a Taurus, they'll stay a Taurus. But for a huge majority, because that's going to be about 70 to 75% of the astrological signs make this shift when you go from tropical to sidereal. So 75% of the Taurians will become Aries when they hit 28. It's a really interesting theory now that there is this shift, there is this change, because I've been so focused on what happens in the there's a change that happens every 7 years. So every 7 years you go through, in a sense, one chakra cycle. You move, there is a change. So from 0 to 7, from 7 to 14 to 21 to 28 to 35. And you can't notice this. If you look in your own life and you look at those specific years, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, you'll notice changes that happen in those years. But these 28s, or I guess 14 would be a half cycle, 28 would be the full moon cycle. So in 28, you would have this change into your sidereal sign. Now, the question would be, okay, when you hit 56, which would be the next Osiris year, if you hit that, well, what would the change be then? You've gone from a tropical astrological sign to a sidereal astrological sign. Maybe at 56, you have the chance to drop all your astrological signs and be without it. I don't know. But I think there's also a shift that happens then at 56, which would be your second sign. If, of course, you made it to, 84, you would have another one. So I just wanted to throw that out too, what I've been thinking about. But the main thing I'm asking for comments here is something different in the last 20 to 30 days-ish? Energetically, do you feel it? Do others feel it? Do your friends, ask your friends. If you're not sure, you got 5 friends, ask them. Have you noticed energetically the world is different in the last 20 days? See what they say. I really like to know, because I want to know if this is just something personal I'm feeling, so it's just about me only, and I should focus on me only then, or is this actually something that is a worldwide phenomenon, and we should actually spend some time figuring out what's going on. All right. See you soon. Cheers.